If it happens in wrestling, it happens here. This is the Superkick Society. Welcome in and welcome all to this week's episode of the Superkick Society. I'm your host, Cam Sterling, joined by the lovely Josh Alderman. And we are coming off of a very, very, very mid-elimination chamber.
I think it's fair to say that it was one of the elimination chambers of all time. It happened. That's
It
all I can
happened.
say about
I
it.
I barely put it in that category. The Elimination Chamber is a shell of its former self nowadays. Like they
Wow.
put padding. They put padding on the outside of the cage. It doesn't feel real anymore. First they nerfed the Hell in the Cell. Now they nerfed the Elimination Chamber. It's like all the pods are meant to break. Like just doesn't feel real anymore.
I know. People
But
don't get
yeah.
brutal injuries or devastating concussions like they
Bring back
used to.
injuries.
I hate
But
how they've safety proofed everything for the benefit of the wrestlers in the ring.
dang it.
Not like it used to be. Let me tell you that.
But with that all being said, the winners fairly predictable as well, both the one-on-one matchups and the Elimination Chamber winners. Um, we tried going for hot takes in our Elimination Chamber predictions, which you can check out in last week's episode. But Rhea Ripley and Randy Orton coming out with the wins in their respective Elimination Chambers. I think those set up very good matches. There's a little bit um, of some twists
Yeah,
that may
just a
happen
bit.
in the road to Randy Orton's choice, but Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill is going to be an instant gem. I'm very excited to see how that match boils down. But with that all being said, what are your opinions?
I think, yeah, it was a tad predictable. I mean, you got AJ winning the IC title, which inevitably sets up another match at WrestleMania. You've got Punk retaining over Finn Balor. It's just so sad to see Finn drop to this level and not through any fault of his own.
Yep.
The booking just hasn't been there. I was reading a stat that since this program with Punk started, Finn Balor hasn't won a single match on TV, on house shows, anything. The guy
Prince
just had
Devitt, creator of the Bullet Club,
first
is just
Universal champ, greatest NXT champ of all time. Can't pick up a victory even on a house show.
so bad.
Say it with me now, kids. What are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
But yeah, it was predictable, but still a solid match. Like, you got two great performers there. Balor brought back the OG theme. It seems like that's going to be sticking around as he transitions back into being a face. Punk got the Jordan Bulls entrance that, you know, gave me goosebumps. That was just so cool. The OG PA announcer, like, just so sick. And yeah, it was a solid match, but extremely predictable. And then as for the Elimination Chamber matches, I feel like we just didn't see any of those big spots that the Chamber's known for. There wasn't really anything remarkable that came out of either of them.
That's
And
the thing.
that's,
Like, we saw
yeah,
the remarkable spots, but they've just become so overused now that they're not even remarkable anymore. Like, name a remarkable spot that could happen in the Elimination Chamber that we didn't see. We saw people going on top of the pods. We saw people trying to climb it. We saw people going through the pods.
yeah.
Like
It's all been
we're
done before.
seeing the spots. They're just nothing crazy anymore.
Yeah. Like when you've seen them 1,000 times. It's still cool, but it's
Hmm.
just not as cool as it once was. It all loses its luster, and yeah. But that being said, Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill, just going to be a banger of a match. And then Orton versus McIntyre, it feels like there's some unfinished business there. Like maybe they will pivot to it being a fatal four-way. Cody versus Randy versus Fatu versus Drew, just because of those intertwining stories. But I don't know. We'll see. Yes, Mr. Sterling.
I have a point I'd like to announce.
Let's hear it.
Um, I don't think it's going to be a fatal four-way. I don't think it's going to be Randy versus Drew.
Huh?
I think it's going to be Randy versus Cody Rhodes,
You
like I
think?
predicted.
You think?
All the way back in 2025, I wanted Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
Okay.
And after Drew McIntyre with his um I don't even know what to call it, like little boy syndrome, breaking into everybody's matches, being a little child. Uh he got himself in trouble by Big Papa Nick Aldis. And now I think Drew McIntyre might lose the title to Cody Rhodes on
Really?
SmackDown, which sets up another match that we were itching for in 2025. Drew McIntyre versus Nick Aldis.
You think that that's gonna come through?
I think that could be a WrestleMania match.
Wow. Okay.
This match on Friday Night SmackDown perfectly sets up both of those. We saw Nick Aldis furious with Drew in the locker room. We saw him furious at the desk setting up the match. We saw Drew clash with him at the desk after announcing the match. These guys are bitter rivals and they need a match and they need a match fast. And I think that match with the feud that has really been building up for the last year, I think it's a WrestleMania worthy match.
Oh yeah, there's
And
no
that
doubt about that.
automatically sets up a match we've been waiting even longer for. And that's not only Randy versus Cody Rhodes,
Hmm.
but that's Randy with a chance at a championship as well.
Yeah.
And I think Randy could do it with how much people are so sick of Cody Rhodes with the championship. Um, I think that cements Cody's legacy right now a little bit more with another championship reign, albeit only being a month or so.
Mm.
And I think it's Randy versus Cody Rhodes at Mania.
See, now that you've said that, it starts to make a little more sense. Yeah, that could be interesting. The
Although
big
I'd still like to see Jacob Fatu in
that's
that type of story. I could see a
yeah.
triple threat between like Trick, Sammy, and Fatu. I don't know how that would come about, but Trick and Sammy already are on the ropes for a match for Mania, and Fatu could easily end up in there as well. It's like you could put that guy in a storyline with anybody and it works.
Hmm.
He just has to go crazy enough. And so I could totally see Fatu with another match on WrestleMania, but I really think this is heading towards Cody versus Randy.
Yeah. I think that's fair to say. And yeah, that big question mark is Fatu. Where does he fit in? He's been involved in this Cody, Drew, Randy storyline, and he's been involved with it intermittently throughout the last few
I
months.
I could also see Nick Aldis putting Drew in a match with Fatu
Mm.
as well. Um, with Fatu, like he's very well known as like the crazy guy on SmackDown, and like it's the worst punishment you could possibly have to be put in a match with Jacob Fatu. So
It's
I
the
could
worst
see like,
punishment you could have, a match on SmackDown.
yeah, that too. But with a crazy stipulation that Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu, and like If they really bring back Hell in a Cell, that could work. If they do any type of Falls Count anywhere with those two, that would be really cool.
Hmm.
So I could totally see Fatu in a match with Drew straight up because he pissed off Aldous, and you know what? You get a match with the Samoan Werewolf because you're a bad boy. And
That could be
yeah,
fun, yeah. And we talked about the GM's wrestling, Adam Pearce, the pedigree that he has, but he hasn't wrestled in a long time. Nick Aldis wrestled
this
within
decade.
just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like the guy was a key part of the initial All In facing Cody Rhodes for the NWA World's Heavyweight title. He was like, what was
He
it?
still got it.
Well over 1,000+ days as NWA
Yeah.
champ. He still has it. He went to TNA for a few matches and then popped up as the GM of SmackDown. The guy's still got it, and he's wrestled a lot more recently than Adam Pearce. He's still got gas left in the tank, if only for like a 10-minute Mania match. This guy can
Yeah.
go.
We've seen plenty of managerial figures have those 10-minute matches at
Yeah,
WrestleMania, especially in the new both the new era and the PG era, like post 2010. We've seen a
yeah.
lot of those figures end up in matches. Not to shout out Johnny Laurinaitis or anything, but
Boo.
boo. But I could totally see it happening. It's lining up that way in my eyes, and I'm pretty excited for the possibility of getting the legacy match that we've been yearning for the like ever since Cody Rhodes returned.
Yeah,
So that would be gold. I hope they pull the trigger on it and
yeah.
not just like
You
even though
can't let that,
Randy and Drew would be great.
you can't let Randy and Cody just sit there.
Yeah.
uh, Cody and Drew, there's a built-in story. Randy and Drew, you can build a story.
Hmm.
Randy and Cody, that is
You have a story.
perfect. You even if you have to pivot away from what you originally planned, you do it for this
Mhm.
kind of storyline with so much history built in, with so much animosity built in. There is something there that you can just get. Like
Yeah.
it's a diamond in the rough. You got to dig for it a little
If
bit.
you're not going to give the championship to new stars and new characters on the main roster, get those lasting stories that are still yet to be
Told.
solved and told. Like the it's gold. You just got to
Mhm.
pull the trigger on it, and I hope they do.
Now, speaking of new characters, one last little tidbit from Elimination Chamber. Very nice, very evil, booed out of the building. Danhausen
I'm
is
actually shocked that he got booed out of the building. Like that's so annoying. Because Danhausen's not coming in to be your WWE champion. Like, he's either going to be an R-Truth and CM Punk's tag team partner. So, like, it's a win-win either way. The scalability of Danhausen is not there. He's just here for backstage gimmicks. He
mhm,
doesn't need to get booed out of the building. Like, that happens with any, like, what's in the box type story with WWE. It's never going to be
yeah.
this crazy Chris Jericho level character. You're not going to have Chris Jericho come out of a box. So I loved how it was released. Um, I will always be against American crowds for PLEs because they're so boring
Yep.
and they don't cheer for anything.
Chicago's
But
a good city for that, but
yeah, like even CM Punk's best friend from the Indies, and they're not even going to cheer for him.
okay,
They barely cheered for they barely cheered for AJ. Like,
yeah, let's be real here. I like Danhausen. He
mhm,
moves a shit ton of merch. He's going to WWE where he can move that much more.
mhm,
The guy's in it for the money.
yeah,
I respect that. And he's a close friend to CM Punk's. But let's get down to the brass tacks. He's not a good wrestler. We're not
No.
expecting, five-star classics, Omega Okada levels of insanity, you know, WrestleMania feuds. But at the same time, he's funny. He's good on the mic. He's got a goofy little character. If you know me, you know I love my comedy wrestling, and Danhausen perfectly fits that. The big issue is where do you put him in on an already stacked roster? Because we saw that backstage segment in the build up to it where you had Phoenix loitering around listening to R-Truth explain the ESPN app and how it works. You had MCMG, you had Fraxium, all these guys that you're doing nothing with, that
Yeah.
you are not booking in the spots that they should be in, but we got room for Danhausen. Like
Yeah.
Ethan Page, NXT. Ricky Starks, NXT. Mariah Goddamn May, NXT. Danhausen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Like, it's just not the right spot for him.
Yeah.
And there's no good spot for him. NXT, he'd just be a little too weird for the current NXT phase. NXT 2.0, he would have
Yes.
slid right in. AAA, he's not skilled enough in the ring to match up with, some of the best luchadors in the world. Main roster, he's gonna be prominent for a couple weeks and then they're not gonna know what to do with him. He's good. He's funny. I enjoy his work, but it's like, where is the spot for Danhausen?
Yeah. Again, he's not a needle mover. He's there to be a truth. He is there to be a main pretty deadly. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not expecting anything from Danhausen. I'm expecting like Kit Wilson backstage segments, barely any matches even. 24/7 R Truth type character.
Yeah.
So I think Raw is lacking those comedic characters right now with Kit Wilson and R Truth both on SmackDown. Um, so I think Raw is the place to be for Danhausen with CM Punk there. He's got roots. Um, I think that's the move for Danhausen. Um, again, this is nothing to be treated like a Cody Rhodes return or like this crazy signing for WWE. It is not that, and that's why he debuted at the Elimination Chamber. So, I'm not expecting much out of Danhausen. It's been a while. Like we've been talking about this for the last month, but Robert in WWE is really gone extinct, and
Hmm.
they're lacking those comedic wrestlers who are just there to put on good, funny TV.
Yeah.
Um, as they're trying to keep up with AAA and with AEW and their so talented technical wrestling ability, because they're trying to build that in NXT, and all those guys are coming up to the main roster now, but now they're lacking the character development. So you got to bring those guys in too. And I think Danhausen provides that, and I don't think he'll win a championship at all in his career in his tenure with WWE, possibly a tag team, who knows. But I really think this was a good move in the fact that the character development in WWE is figuring out a little bit. So I think
Yeah.
this helps.
That's fair to say, but also SummerSlam main event. Alexa, play My Way by Limp Bizkit. The Tribal Chief versus the Cursed One. Just one more fight. I'm just saying, it's there. Triple H, if you had
It's there.
any cojones,
It, and
you'd
that's
book
why
it.
you got Danhausen.
Yep.
It's there. It's there
Yep.
when you need it.
Mm-hmm. If you want a pay-per-view main event, you go to the Dan.
You got it. You want it. You got it.
That's how it goes. All right. I think we've talked enough about Elimination Chamber. Let's get down to the week in wrestling. We'll start off with Monday. Monday Night Raw. Bronson Reed in that qualifying match did get injured. Looked like his
Mhm.
arm, his shoulder got
I
busted
believe it
up, and
was a bicep injury by the look of it.
yeah, and it was very clear that he was supposed to win that match and go on to the
Yeah.
chamber.
We didn't even talk about why you needed a a Vision member in that elimination chamber, which on SmackDown they fixed that up. But sorry to go back to the elimination chamber,
No,
but
no.
the masked man got unmasked once
Yes.
again. I believe the fourth masked man to be unmasked. And who else other than the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins? You needed a Vision member in there for him to do that.
Yeah.
So I understand the pivot, which we'll get onto that as we get onto SmackDown. But yeah, I love the way they did it. It's pretty predictable once again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it needed to happen.
No, that's fair. It needed to happen. I don't like the way that they did it with
Mhm.
LA Knight eliminating the three sentimental favorites in the match. With Logan Paul, sorry, eliminating the three
Mhm.
sentimental favorites. It'd be sick if LA Knight did it. Um, that being LA Knight, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans. Like
Yeah,
those are the guys that you're supposed to be building
lead
up to bring
nowhere.
into these title pictures, and then Logan Paul eliminates them. Uh-huh.
I think they're trying to build up Logan Paul as like somewhat of a worthy competitor to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania because
Say psych right
Braun
now.
Breaker's out, Bronson Reed's out. I think Logan Paul's gonna face Seth Rollins at
By
WrestleMania.
God, it's Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's coming down to the ring.
Oh, Paul Heyman coming down with his fourth string Vision member.
Austin Theory. Austin Theory is at WrestleMania.
Oh my God, it's another masked man joining the
Oh my
Vision.
God. My God, it's
Get him
Danhausen.
out of here.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're off script here.
Yep. Monday Night Raw. Liv Morgan makes her choice. She picks Stephanie Vaquer. That's just going to be a sick match. You've already got the built-in story there. It's just going to be great. No notes. Lesnar returns and schedules an open challenge for
That's old.
WrestleMania. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it for 20 years, so I kind of got it locked in now.
Yeah.
And
And that's got to be Obafemi.
yeah, there's no other choice. Or Danhausen. Who knows?
Don't you dare put that evil out there. Yeah. It's it's set up for Oba to step in to take over. It's a shame that guys like Lesnar and Reigns aren't going to be there for the build up to your biggest show of the
Yeah,
year.
that would be pretty
You've got
good.
so you've got to stall. You've got to fill these gaps. It's a shame, but that'll be a solid match and a good showing for Oba. And then they ended the night with the AJ Styles tribute. That was just
Loved it.
perfect. Yeah, like no notes. That's how you honor a legend. Plus the announcement that he's going into the Hall of Fame.
Just delaying his AEW debut, probably.
And yeah, just a big surprise. You could tell AJ was genuinely shocked by that announcement. As much as Mark Calloway is a scumbag, The Undertaker, the character of The Undertaker being the one to tell him that he's headed to the Hall of Fame, that that just feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just really nice. You could see they brought back some of old friends and foes, Frankie Kazarian,
This
Abyss.
that was cool.
Yeah, just really good stuff all around.
A little side plot, but with how many places that guy's been, who do you think WWE is going to bring in to induct AJ Styles?
Ooh, I
You could have literally anybody.
it'll be someone who's in TNA right now because there's no chance they
No
do.
WWE guys?
I think there's no chance they'd get an AEW guy because really, Tony Khan is a fan of
Yeah.
wrestling. Like
Samoa Joe would be pretty freaking cool, but there's
he
no
would
way
let
he'd
it
do it.
happen. He would let
Yeah.
it happen. And like Joe, Daniels, any of those guys,
Kenny.
Kenny, like seriously,
Yeah.
it'd all be good. Adam Cole even. Like there's just everyone's got history with AJ.
So many options.
I think yeah, Christian, Angle. Kurt Angle's not in AEW, but he's
Hmm.
I don't think he's signed to like a Legends deal or anything like that. I yeah, I don't know. It could be out of WWE picks. You could see Nakamura, maybe Angle, maybe bring in some guys
Or
like
is it John Cena?
by
Boo, boo,
God,
boo.
Cena would be fun. I think yeah,
I'm
that
shocked
would
they're
actually
not
be a lot of
inducting
fun.
Cena, but he could be a further inductee.
It
Uh,
feels like they're trying to give Cena a platform like a year all to
yeah,
his own. After how much he hyped up the retirement tour should have been this year,
what it feels
and
like.
not let your headliner be Stephanie McMahon in the Big 26, but
Yeah. Hopefully the headliner turns into AJ Styles, like
you would
kind.
hope. But yeah, that there's just so many options they can pick from,
Yeah.
even through their partnership. Get some TNA guys, Kaz,
Hmm.
Abyss, James Storm,
Bobby Roode could even do it.
Bobby Roode. Yeah, the options are limitless.
Yeah.
Seriously. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. Now, from Mondays to Tuesdays,
This
it's
will
time.
take a hot second.
Okay.
Done. That's all that happened on NXT.
NXT happened.
Yep. Jada Parker, interference. Blake Monroe loses to Thea Hell. We were upset that she even was in the tournament, and now she loses in the first
Yep.
round.
The Speed Championship tournament. The
What
title
are you
formerly
doing?
defended on Twitter. Blake Monroe is losing in what, the first round of the Speed tournament.
Let that simmer for a little bit.
The woman from
Mariah
hell,
May.
Mariah May.
Mariah May losing in the first round of the speed tournament.
Sure, man.
Does
Whatever.
everyone have like an itch like that they can't scratch right now with how dirty they're doing Blake Monroe? She shouldn't even be there,
Nope.
first of all. Second of
Nope.
all, it's a waste. Like they're setting up a match with Jada Parker, who's over with the crowd somehow, can't really wrestle, pretty bland. I
Yeah.
hopefully a fight with Blake Monroe can lift her into the stratosphere because it possibly could, but I can't see that being any more than a basic one-on-one.
Nope. And that they're just
Yeah,
dragging this out until Stand and Deliver. They're just gonna drag it out.
yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense. And you know what else doesn't make sense? Our favorite, fresh out of high school, 12-year-old boys, Vanity Project, are the new NXT Tag Team Champions. A title held by such luminaries as The Revival, The Authors of Pain, DIY,
The Ascension,
The Ascension, Samoa Joe and Finn Balor,
Braxium,
Fraxium, Undisputed Era. We can go on and on. Mustache Mountain.
yeah. Mustache Mountain's underrated.
Nah, let's give it to guys who look like they should be flipping burgers at McDonald's, who look like They're just doing this as a
They don't
hobby.
look like they work at McDonald's. Their daddy has a trust fund. Come on.
Yeah, no, that's fair to say.
They haven't worked a day in their life.
And let's face it, a bunch of guys who really look like this is just a hobby that they've taken up to delay doing their period 3 algebra homework. They look like they should still be in school, whether that be college or high school. That's up to you to pick.
They're
Vanity
probably still working
Projects.
in high school.
Vanity Projects are the new NXT Tag Champs, and they won them from everyone's favorite Shield knockoff group, Dark State,
God, just
who
keeps getting worse.
your boy Tony D'Angelo is now sucked into the vortex of.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, that's Tony D'Angelo's big feud since coming back.
Can we just get this TNA group with Stax and Lexus King and Uriah Connors to just take over? Like, get these stupid factions out of the way. All your good characters are just in a group, not fighting for anything.
Nope. And
Tony needs to team up with them. Tony needs to go over with them and get back with Stax.
I've mentioned it before. Saquon Sugars is a hell of a wrestler. Like Lucky Ali on the Indies, in DPW, shouts out to Deadlock.
Mhm.
Like phenomenal wrestler, so good on the mic, in the ring.
Came in at the same time as Javon Evans.
Yeah, same time as Javon, and the trajectory couldn't be any more different. Javon up to the main roster, star of the future, and now Saquon languishing as the leader of
Somewhat.
the Shield's the Shield and Retribution's bastard love child.
The the underdeveloped the underdeveloped Shield.
When mom says we have the Shield and Retribution at home,
I
the
don't want
Shield and
Retribution
Retribution
at
at
home.
home, Dark State.
I don't want Retribution at home.
I don't want Retribution at all. Yeah. What if the Shield had more members in it and they were all a bunch of nerds?
Oh, I know what that is.
What's that?
Dark State.
No way.
Yep, I knew it.
Live footage of Shawn Michaels in the booking room. Yeah. And
We did have a fairly big moment on NXT, I will say though.
we had
Zaruka,
two actually.
yes, two.
Miles Bourne
Two.
winning the North American title. That's just sick. The guy
That's
is
awesome.
obviously the
Awesome.
future.
It's baby Randy Orton. Like,
Exactly.
can't
Literally, baby
complain.
Randy Orton. And it's just so awesome to see him develop. Such a good wrestler, good on the promos, good character work. He's got it all to be the future.
Hmm.
And not to mention an inspiring story, being like almost fully deaf, but
Yeah.
still being as good of a wrestler as he is.
Still cutting great promos
Yeah,
too.
there's nothing holding you back. That's a great story to tell. And it frees Ethan Page to go up to the main roster, hopefully continuing that partnership with Chelsea Green that's been so
Mhm.
entertaining down on NXT. That's a great moment. And then, yeah, the main event of the night, we finally saw Zaruka implode. It's,
Finally.
yeah. But the big question is, you've built up Sol Ruka to be the big challenger for JC Jane, probably for Stand and Deliver.
Mm-mm.
Now she's got her own side story,
Mm.
and there's no one to stand up to JC Jane for a women's title match at your biggest
I
pay-per-view of the
I
year.
think just like Ethan Page, you call up Soul. Have
Really?
Zarya go after JC Jane.
Oh, okay.
That's my booking, but
It feels more
I
like a Raw or SmackDown after Mania call-up, though.
yeah, think so.
I think so.
I could see that. I could see
Yeah.
both. I could see both Ethan Page and Sol Ruka waiting till then though. But we'll see. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think they're coming up at the same time, and I think Zarya's the next one to go after JC Jane once Silveruka gets called up.
Okay.
Um, but that's my take.
Yeah, not too bad. A lot of story threads that could be pulled on in the
Yeah.
coming weeks and months.
The women's division is still pretty good on NXT. There's a lot of ways that you can go.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of paths that you could take there. And now, thankfully, we did get some reprieve from NXT the next night. On Wednesday night, Dynamite, we got some really big stories coming out of that. A good episode all around. Great, I dare say. And we had Swerve Strickland. He is fully heel now. Cuts a scathing promo on the roster. I mean, you had Prince Nana yelling at Shivani and McGuinness and Excalibur to get out of the way for Swerve, calling them, I think it was like insolent fools or something like that. This is a heel duo through and through, and the fans are still going to cheer for a little bit just because they're both so cool together. But there's definitely something big coming on the horizon for
Yeah.
Swerve, and he already set up a pay-per-view feud with Brody King. Man, that is going to be a brutal
Yeah.
match.
That'll set it up big time.
You don't even need a stipulation for that one.
They
Man.
are the stipulation.
Oh yeah, that right there. Then we got a little bit more of a build again to the pay-per-view Revolution coming up in March. Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin, their feud with the War Dogs, the Dogs. The name is still up in the air, but it's
It,
Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors.
yeah. You could
And
call them the dogs. Ooh.
and no matter what you call them, that is a banger tag team.
Yeah,
Gabe Kidd,
they've been doing really well.
yeah, Gabe Kidd has won however many big titles in New Japan. He's still super young. There is a lot in that guy's tank, and he's got at least, another decade in the business with him.
Hmm.
He is the future. Someone to hold on to, a blue chipper. But it's weird to call that about a guy who's won so many titles, who's headlined pay-per-views in Japan as a prospect. He is the now.
Yeah.
He's the future of now, if that makes sense. And then Clark Connors, I've been really, really impressed with his work. Like agile, powerful, a really cool look as well of
Mm,
this like urban cowboy. Just sick. And the pounce that he does harkens back to Monty Brown. Like just so good. I'm really out of the two. Gabe Kidd is going to be a star. I want to see if Clark Connors can rise to the occasion and become a star in his own right. I mean, we know that he's partnered up with Tekla outside of the ring. It would be interesting to see him get a storyline or two with her, maybe a mixed tag match down the line.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I think it's
But
a good match to try and put over those two
yeah,
against two staples in AEW like Darby
yeah.
Allin and Orange Cassidy. So I think it's going to be a solid match. It's going to be a great match to really push them onto the scene of AEW, even more than they already are.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think it's a great choice.
Yeah. Now, we're still hesitant about this, but it's going to be a good match either way. MJF and Hangman is confirmed to be a Texas death match. That's just going to slap. That is going to be
It's gonna be
so
so,
brutal and sickening. We saw
so
that MJF can do hardcore matches. Cam and I saw it in person at All Out Toronto, where he had that tables and tax match with Mark Briscoe. That was a bloody affair.
can't get much hardcore than that
Yeah.
in this day and
MJF's,
age, at
I
least.
mean, hell, you could even go back to his dog collar match with CM Punk. Like, MJF, when the time calls for it, is a very good hardcore wrestler and can pull off and sell some of that brutality. And Hangman, we know Hangman has no problems there. That's his element. That's where he shines in these sickening hardcore matches. It's just going to be a great match. It's the outcome that is a little up in the air, where you could have MJF wins, Hangman can't challenge for the world title ever again. And hopefully the story ends up being that Swerve takes the title, runs rampant, destroys the company.
Hopefully.
Hangman has to go back on his word.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Or Hangman wins and ends MJF's reign a little early, which
Do
doesn't
you think
quite feel
MJF
right.
could win it right back?
No, there's been enough kind of tossing around of the title where you had Joe winning it from Hangman and then MJF winning it from Joe. There's been a couple changes in the last few months. I don't think they're gonna hot potato it even more by having MJF drop it so soon. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's gonna be a great match, but we're optimistic for what the outcome might turn into down the line. All right, then another title match. This one happening on Dynamite. We had the Babes of Wrath going up against Mega Bad. That match seemed a little off, and it seemed like Penelope Ford may have gotten injured or tweaked
That
something,
looked
and
like
that
a
is,
pretty bad injury.
yeah, with Penelope Ford's history of injuries, it feels like every time she starts to get going, there's just something new that pops up that stops her right in her tracks.
Mhm.
If she's actually injured, then it's a shame to see. It seems like they did call an audible with a DQ finish, and you don't see a lot of DQ finishes in AEW these days. Maybe it's just to delay and stall until the pay-per-view. Maybe Ford really is injured and they're gonna do Lana Cross and Megan Bayne as the new tag team. I don't know, man. It's a shame to see though if Penelope Ford really is injured.
Yeah.
Then Brody King calls out Swerve in return. Bandito calls out anyone for a fight at Revolution, and Andrade answers.
Hell yeah.
Double banger combo right there.
Double banger.
And then in the main event, we got some real PWG vibes, some fun, goofy brawling in the form of the Mile High Madness match. FTR and The Demand, that being Ricochet, Toliona, and Bishop Khan, up against the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, and the Rascals combo of Dez and Wentz. Just a fun match. Like
Yeah.
so many good elements. FTR using Stokely as a battering ram to knock,
Awesome.
I want to say, Nick down the stairs. It was
All my
just a lot of
homies
fun.
love Stokely getting beat up.
Oh, yeah. Jack Perry using a vacuum full of like dust and powder as a weapon. Man,
Oh,
just a lot of fun.
I missed good guy Jack Perry.
Yeah, he's just got so
He's
much
so
good
fun.
energy. He's easy to cheer for.
Yeah.
And of course, Tarzan Boy by Baltimore playing out for like the first 10 minutes of the match. It was basically Anarchy in the Arena, just on a random episode of Dynamite.
Love it.
And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Then we had Friday Night Smackdown on, you guessed it, Friday night. A interesting
Yeah.
title change there where Lash Legend and Nia Jax win the tag titles from Rahio. It's a choice.
I think it was bound to happen though.
Yeah,
You gotta take the titles off Rhea and Io so that they can actually do something at WrestleMania.
you would
I
hope.
don't know what Io's lining up to do.
Yeah.
Um, I I really don't know. She's had a couple of run-ins with the Kabuki Warriors. Um, that could be a really cool match with a lot of history,
Hmm.
but like she's not really lined up for anything. Obviously, Rhea wins the Elimination Chamber and she's
Yeah.
set for WrestleMania, but I don't know what's on the doorstep for you.
Yeah, unless it's building towards like a an Asuka singles match,
Hmm.
or maybe we do see Kyrie finally turn. Maybe that's what it is, but yeah, it feels like there's a lot up in the air. It makes sense to pivot to a proper tag team, which admittedly is still just two single stars thrown together.
This one feels like a tag team, though.
Yeah,
Lash
feels
and
more like a
Nia have been
tag
doing
team.
great work.
Yeah, and just two powerhouses. They fit and complement each other perfectly. It just makes sense. And yeah, hopefully we get to see more defenses out of them. Like the titles get featured weekly. But yeah, we'll have to see. Prior to the chamber, we saw LA Knight, Trick Williams, and some of the other competitors go head to head in a promo segment, but it was really those first two that went bar for bar, trading insults. That is a feud in and of itself.
I could definitely see that in the near future. Trick's got a bit too much on his plate with Sami Zayn and
Hmm.
possibly Jacob Fatu. Who knows where that's going to lead?
Yeah.
But that's definitely an option
Yeah.
for LA Knight.
And then Jey Uso, after qualifying for the Elimination Chamber on Monday, gets mysteriously taken out. It,
Ooh.
it's implied that it's Trick Williams, but it could have been the Vision just as easily. And then
I don't even
Logan
know.
Paul qualifies for the Elimination Chamber. We already talked about him.
You needed a Vision member in
Yep,
there.
to do your masked man stuff. Could have been
Yeah.
Austin Theory,
Could
but
have been Paul Heyman.
could have been Paul Heyman. Should have been Paul Heyman, is the right answer.
Paul Heyman eliminates three of the competitors in Elimination Chamber.
Still in his full suit.
Brings
Oh
out the
man.
hat.
Oh, there's a throwback.
Oh,
Yeah. SmackDown was it happened.
it did
Definitely
happen.
one of the SmackDowns of all time, and of course, we had that as previously mentioned horrific backstage segment with the Box where R-Truth and a bunch of, let's face it, jobber tag teams who really shouldn't be jobbers and Ray Phoenix.
All of your best technical wrestlers are jobbers. Like,
Fraxium, like Humberto and Angel Garza, Phoenix, MCMG, all looking like they'd have a million other places that they'd rather be as R-Truth
MCMG needs to go back to TNA or
anywhere,
rejuvenate anywhere.
anywhere else.
Anywhere. They've been anywhere. They can go back anywhere.
Yeah, literally, they'd be welcome back at any company, AEW, TNA, ROH, New Japan, and yet
Get
they're
them
languishing on
off.
SmackDown.
Oh, God.
Like, you've got one of the greatest tag teams of all time, if not the greatest tag team of all time.
They're up there.
They're genuinely in like the Mount Rushmore of tag teams
Yeah.
of all time. They're up there. Like, there's no doubting that. But now they're in backstage segments where R-Truth explains how easy it is to stream WWE on the ESPN app as he proceeds to go on a 2-minute rant about how complicated it is.
And Fraxium was putting up legitimately a five-star match every single one of their matches
Mm-hmm.
in
Week in and week
NXT.
out.
They shouldn't even have been put on SmackDown. I stand by that the Raw tag team division needed them so much more.
Mm-hmm.
But like they need to take the championships out of the feud of Wyatt Six and MFTs. That needs to be like a Hurt Business Final Testament feud.
Yeah.
And it's just not because you have the titles in there. Like this could easily just be a story with the lantern that doesn't need the titles woven into it,
Mm-hmm.
and that effectively just takes the titles off of television with them not even being the primary object
Nope.
in their feud.
Nope.
It's a damn lantern.
And yeah, Obafemi also committed another straight up homicide this week. The Miz was the next victim in line. That's pretty funny. That's just fun to see. It was a good match.
Is Obafemi a jobber?
No, because he wins.
I guess, yeah. I get, I get, jobbers can win, but these matches are jobber level matches, and I'm getting
Mm,
tired of it.
filler, I think is the right word. Filler.
Yeah,
And yeah, folks, I don't think Road Dogg's good at booking SmackDown. I don't think so. If I'm being real, I don't
step out of the
know.
way, Road Dog.
I don't know if he knows how to book tag teams or women's wrestling. Hot take here, guys. But yeah,
Crazy that the New Age Outlaw can't book tag team matches.
you would think. You would think. And then we get to Saturday night's Collision going on at the same time as Elimination Chamber. It was an action-packed episode.
Mhm.
We got the confirmation that the Inspiration, formerly known as the Iconics, are in fact all elite.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't
They
have
don't
expected that.
feel all elite, but I think they're gonna do great things.
Oh, yeah. Like, the Iconics are just so much fun in WWE. Genuinely one of my favorite tag teams of like the last decade. And yeah, there was a lot of rumors that now that, like, I think it was last year that they reunited, properly going back to wrestling as a tag team. And there was just a lot of hype. I mean, I even predicted it that they were going to show up at the Royal Rumble, that they're going to show up on WWE somehow, somewhere. And now they're all elite. It's a missed opportunity. WWE could have and should have snatched them up, another coveted member of the women's tag team division, give them some new life. But AEW got there first. And you know what? It's just going to be fun to see them go at it where women's tag team wrestling might be a little more prominent.
Just a little bit more.
And your fun fact of the week that I found out completely by happenstance, actually. I was reading an article and it just popped up. Turns out the Inspirations theme song is sung by Harley Cameron. Yeah,
Huh?
real talk. Harley Cameron, one half of the women's tag team champs in AEW, sang the Inspirations theme song.
We see a faction?
Maybe. I don't know. Mind you, this was back when the Inspiration were in TNA
Right.
and Harley Cameron was still starting to make her way onto AEW. Harley Cameron is a known singer, a very talented one at that. And yeah, that's just a fun little piece of trivia. Yeah, they were planting the seeds for this faction, what, 4 years ago?
Yeah. They knew Harley Cameron was gonna break in with Willow Nightingale.
Oh, yeah, they knew.
Yeah.
Then we got to see Proto Okada make their debut as Okada continues to weasel his way in and try and take Kyle Fletcher away from Takeshita. It's absurd that you've got Kazuchika Okada, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and he is so easy and so talented as one of as genuinely just such a delightful comedy guy. Like he was born to be our truth, but just so happened to end up as one of the goats.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love Okada.
Okada's just so much fun.
I love him.
And then Proto Okada threw down a challenge that they'll find another member of the Don Callis family to go up against,
Yeah, you got like 50 of them, right?
yeah, whole locality. And yeah, pick a member of the Don Callis family. They'll go up against Jet Set Rodeo. Banger name, by the way. I just love that so much. You got Jet Speed and Hangman. Perfect combo there. So that should be a fun feud. If it ends up being a pay-per-view feud or just based on Collision, we'll have to wait and see. But that's just going to be fun. And then, of course, the confirmation to wrap up the show that Swerve versus Brody will be happening at Revolution at the former Staples Center, and then Andrade versus Bandito. Man,
It's
that is
gonna be,
just going to be sweet.
it's gonna be so good.
Like, just give those.
Revolution is gonna be so stacked.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of.
Like you don't even need titles on half of these matches and they're
Yeah,
just gonna be so good.
yeah. Even if you end up doing the trios title match at Revolution and have Hangman pull double duty, which
Oh,
he could,
he
and it
definitely
would fit his
could.
character. Even if you do that and oh, Fletcher doesn't defend the TNT title, Okada doesn't defend his continental title or international. There's enough titles. I don't know, man. The one that Okada
They're all
holds,
so similar.
the one that Okada holds. If he's not going to defend it, which is kind of part of his gimmick now, that he just doesn't want to defend it,
Yep.
the pay-per-view would still be fine. Yeah, there's just going to be a lot of fun matches, good matches that don't explicitly need titles on the line. Just a lot of fun. Thankfully, enough fun to balance out the woes of watching SmackDown and NXT this week.
An elimination chamber.
Maybe a bit of Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah, still a
Thank God we
sour
had
taste.
Collision that night.
Yeah, man. Tough stuff.
Well, as you can see, fairly midweek in the world of WWE, AEW picking up the slack, building towards Revolution as that is just on the horizon. And the last stop on the road to WrestleMania has been complete as that starts to ravel up through the month of March, and we'll see where the stories start to build throughout the next month. So stay tuned for that. But until then, this has been the Superkick Society. Been your host, Cam Sterling. You've been my co-host, Josh Alderman, and we'll see you next week.